Hello and welcome to Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Discover 2024, coming to you from Las Vegas. I'm Daisy McAndrew. HP made history this morning when President and CEO Antonio Neri delivered the first ever corporate keynote at the iconic Sphere here in Las Vegas. He made big new announcements about HPE AI capabilities, exciting new advancements in the partnership between HP and Nvidia, and a whole lot more.
HPE and Nvidia have a proven track record for delivering innovation. Today, we are taking our partnership further. It is with great excitement that we announce Nvidia AI Computing by HPE to accelerate the generative AI industrial revolution. Today, it is a pleasure to introduce what we call the first-of-a-kind turnkey private cloud AI solution co-developed with Nvidia. We call it the HP Private Cloud AI. When I say turnkey, I mean the simplest experience today for deploying and operating the AI Nvidia software stack in the industry.
One, the era of generative AI is here. You must engage the single most consequential technology in history. And you must find a way as quickly as possible to turn that flywheel of your company's experience into your company's AI as quickly as possible. That's number one. Number two, our partnership with HP is about simplifying all of this incredibly complicated technology in three stacks: the data stack, the model stack, the computing stack. Turn it into this private cloud so that you could operate it. And lastly, this giant go-to-market.
Exactly.
This giant go-to-market.
People matter.
Yeah, this network of ecosystem of partners and service providers. And we're going to, because of this, make it possible for the first time to bring generative AI to every single company in the world.
Well, joining me now to offer some perspective on all the news we heard today, a leading industry analyst, Carolina Milanese, President of Creative Strategies, and Matt Eastwood, Senior Vice President at IDC. Thank you both so much for joining me. We've got a lot to chew over, haven't we? Matt, let me start with you. We heard plenty of announcements from Antonio Neri in that keynote. Which bits really caught your attention?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a pivot for HP to really be leaning back into technology once again. I think that this AI era really warrants that. And what plays so well for HPE in this moment is all the things that they do well, all the products and services that they bring to market really have a role in what's happening with Gen AI and AI in general. So the compute story, the storage and data management story, the networking story, the cloud to edge story are all critical. So, but it was really nice to see Antonio showcasing some of that technology on stage today.
And I was looking at some of your social media feeds before we came on, and I saw it really tickled me. You were saying that it's so exciting that this stuff is also cool now. You know, it's become cooler than it was. I love that. Carolina, obviously the AI space is very crowded. It's very competitive. Where do these announcements place HPE?
I thought it was interesting that Antonio really doubled down a few times on trust and then ease of use. And I think that is what organizations that are looking at deploying AI are looking for: trusting the partners that they're working with, trusting their suppliers, but also have a guiding hand, if you like, in this process. Because we just finished talking about cloud and taking the business, from premise to cloud or hybrid, and now here we are with generative AI. It's a lot to take on, especially coming out of the pandemic.
And Matt, obviously Nvidia and its role and the relationship, that was a big part of today. How do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, you could really see the level of thinking that's gone into how both of these organizations can come together and build truly integrated products and experiences for their customers. So it's really, bringing what HP does really well together with this Nvidia technology stack and bringing to market solutions that can really help customers go a lot faster with their AI story. So you heard Antonio talking about the data layer, you heard him talking about the computing layer, and then you go further up to the model layer, and really have to kind of play across that entire landscape, and NVIDIA really helps them do that with immense amounts of credibility.
And of course, that landscape is changing so fast. And we all need to sort of work out where it's been and how it's changing. And of course, one of the really important issues, Carolina, is sustainability.
Yes.
After hearing that speech today, what are you thinking about that?
I think there were a couple of things that caught my attention. One, the focus on liquid cooling, because not only it allows for better computing and more powerful computing, but is also a greener option to deploy this. The other part is also the scalability part. And we don't know how much AI we're going to need and how much infrastructure we're going to need. And so being able to be flexible and build for what we need and then focus on more optimized workflows is also what is going to help with sustainability.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, being flexible, being able to pivot, to change your mind is so important, not to get bogged
and
down.
Being aware of it. So I think that we talk a lot about generative AI helping as well with sustainability. And there were a couple of use cases on stage this morning that was, perfect.
Yeah, really interesting. Matt, let's talk about that planned acquisition of Juniper Networks. If that goes through, what does it mean?
Well, for HPE, it means that they have this fairly significant business around networking. So today, they've got a very large computing business. They have a very healthy and strong storage and data management business. And of course, they've had Aruba, and they've done extremely well growing Aruba. But that's really kind of a distributed edge play. Juniper gives them more credibility in the data center, and it creates a set of networking assets and networking business that really puts HP on par with very few companies that are able to do these sorts of things, end-to-end, core-to-edge.
So we got a real sense of what's been happening recently and what's next. But if we look in our crystal ball as to perhaps slightly further down into the future, Caroline, where do you see things going?
I think that an integrated approach end-to-end, whether it is from a play, and so being able to really control, from the silicon to the software to the networking and obviously the cloud part of it is important. I also feel that from a client perspective, I go back to that trusted partner and supplier. There's a lot of uncertainty around AI, and one thing that I thought was very important was to Antonio talking about trust, transparency, an ethical stand when it comes to AI. Innovation for the sake of innovation can be dangerous, pushing that too much. That's what you said this morning, and I absolutely think that's critical. There's still a lot that we don't know, and I think that being aware of that and being ready to take your customers on a road that focuses on their needs is going to be what is going to set your preferred supplier aside from others.
Matt, I think what Carolina said there, that message of just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean you should do it,
right.
That you've got to think about consequences. I thought that was really thought-provoking.
Absolutely.
Completely. I mean, I think it's very early days with what's going on with Gen AI, but of course you have this C-level excitement about it, but there's also a bit of fear that if they don't go and lean into this, they might get left behind. But what Carolina's saying is super important. You have to get it right, and you don't want to go too fast. You want to make sure you've really thought this through and you've put the pieces together to start to roll this out in a meaningful way.
Absolutely, and the temptation to be first is always going to be so strong. So I thought that was really interesting. Great to chat. Thank you so much, Matt Eastwood, Carolina Milanese. Thank you for your perspectives today. Well, those are some of the headlines to come out of this year's HP Discover Las Vegas. But of course, there is a lot more to see, including interactive displays and opportunities to dive into all things AI, hybrid cloud, networking, and more across the HPE Discover Showcase. So here's a little preview of what you can find. The Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Discover 2024 Showcase is the largest showcase in the history of HPE, with over 150 demos across more than 7 acres of interactive experiences. Attendees can kick off their tour by getting to know all about HPE AI and explore how to overcome the challenges of AI adoption and how to navigate through all the hype and misinformation. At the edge and networking area, customers can discover the next steps in networking management using AI, With interactive demos, attendees can uncover actionable solutions and insights to enhance performance and improve their networks. The AI neighbourhood is where customers can dive into the announcement Antonio Neri featured in his keynote, HPE Private Cloud AI. Attendees can discover how to achieve scale, instant AI productivity, and reduce risk with turnkey private cloud AI solutions from HPE and Nvidia. At the AI and the security and sustainability area, customers can explore real-life examples of how AI enhances manufacturing efficiency, improves quality, and reduces costs. To succeed in AI, organizations need storage that delivers a combination of performance, simplicity, and efficiency, all at AI scale. At the storage and hybrid cloud neighbourhood, customers can take a deep dive into the storage solutions that will meet their unique needs and set them up for success. Last but not least is the Innovation Campus. And there is a lot to see here. This is the spot where attendees can work through all their innovation challenges and turn their ideas into impact. Well, that wraps up the showcase tour, and it is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to explore at the HPE Discover 2024 showcase. Well, a lot to see, but if you miss anything at this year's event, be sure to check out the HPE Discover More network for on-demand videos of the keynote, the general sessions, and so much more. But for now, thank you for watching.